But when the authorities first realized that Athena was missing and that Adina was just alone wandering outside, they had no idea the background situation of it all. So here they had a missing child that they were looking for, the biological parents that they were looking for, and Alysia and Ivan that they were looking for. It was just a hot mess. They had no answers and they were trying to figure out what was going on. Which luckily, it didn't take too long for the investigators to locate Alysia, and they arrested her 2 days after this incident, which was January 12th, 2023. They had arrested her and charged her with 2 counts of child neglect. But this was going to end up being, honestly, like the least of her concerns in the long run. Alysia was the only person who had been taken into custody at that point, which the media wasn't sure at the time if either one of Athena's biological parents or even Ivan would receive any repercussions for what had happened to her or what was unknown to have happened. So Alysia's bond was set at $500,000. But Athena was still a missing person, and searches were all turning up empty. So with each hour and day that passed, the community, truthfully, was filled with less and less hope, knowing that if a 4-year-old was exposed to the harsh January elements, especially without the proper clothing on, without an adult with her, she had very little chance of survival. And that's taking into account if foul play wasn't even involved here. So what Alysia told the detectives after her arrest was honestly far from what anyone was expecting. And to be honest, it was even worse than anyone could have imagined, because it changed the whole way that they even were looking at this case. After her arrest, Alysia confessed to everything that she claimed to have known. And it was far from just I don't even want to say simple, but like basic case of neglect, if you can even call it that. But Alysia confessed to the detectives that on Christmas Day in 2022, a month earlier, that she witnessed what she believed was Athena's murder. And I want to give another trigger warning here, because this next part that Alysia tells the police is absolutely awful and seriously just unthinkable. But on Christmas Day at around midnight, Alysia told detectives that Ivan had gotten angry at Athena. So in a fit of rage, he began beating her. She claimed that she witnessed him holding her up by her arms before then laying her onto the ground and hitting her in the chest 3 times. And after those 3 times, she said Athena didn't move. Her eyes were hardly open, and she knew in her gut that she was probably gone. Now, this whole incident took place in the matter of just an hour, because then Alysia told the detectives that by 1 a.m., Ivan left with Athena's body, and Alysia never saw Athena again. Which this part absolutely infuriates me, not that the whole thing doesn't, but this infuriates me because if what she was confessing to was true, then instead of calling the police as soon as Ivan left,